It's my own. I got nothing. I thought it would go better than that. Yeah, there's a sign of things to come. So we did a call-in show yesterday, and it was interrupted by a small legal situation in the United States of America. How am I? How am I getting on? Let's work it out. How am I doing? How am I doing? Not so good. So we're going to give it another go. We'll wait for a few more people to turn up before I give the rules. The rules. I think I might have to change the colours of the screen a bit. Nice to see people in here early. That's always good. We've been having some cracking numbers lately. I think we are building the channel back up. I've got some spoof on my glasses. I'll tell you a spoof on her glasses. I better not, actually. Maybe there's some spoof on the tissue, because it would appear that I've now got more spoof. What's that? That's the... I ate a pizza and I ate fried... Oh, there it is. And I had prawn fried rice and a pizza. Mop up that hangover. The hangover's gone. It wasn't a real hangover, but it wasn't a fake one either. Somewhere in betwixt. Let's have a look at this. No, I'll do with it. Acceptable. So yeah, we had all right, Rags, on that. I've had a few. We got a few emails today from. Oh, let me tell him. Hang on. 1 second, people. One second, people. I'm just putting a couple of invites out to people who won't come, but you know, it's always worth a pop, isn't it? Bosh. There you go. Yeah, I had a few emails. People were very impressed with the Rags hotline. Oh, Rags. All right, I'll show that. That'll be tonight. That'll be today's Toxic Masculinity. Oh, I just realised what it is. That's probably the same company, isn't it? All right, sorry, people. I don't like to discuss things that you can't see, but that'll be today's Toxic Masculinity. It's a weird angle, Rags, but I like it. I don't want to discuss things that you can't see. We'll get there in a minute. Yeah, we've been getting over 200 people, so it's been quite the thing. Paul, you can come in if you want. I'll be putting the link in the chat, but I've got a few things to show you first. But you can talk about anything you want. Anything you want. Is there still something on my glasses? I don't know. You can talk about anything you want, as long as it's disrespectful and doesn't jeopardize my channel. Two self-explanatory kind of limits, but you know, I'd quite like someone from the opposition to call in, not so that I can absolutely cane you, because I probably won't. But sorry, I've got so much food around my gullet. I think I had some cornflakes as well. Prawn fried rice, bowl of cornflakes, and a pizza. And something on my fucking glasses. Stop it. It's so off-putting. Oh, hang on. Maybe it's on my eye. Maybe it's in the world. Maybe there's just something here. Hang on. I've got it. Hang on. Let me just... There. I'll put it down. Tickled me. No, you can say fuck. The other one's off limits, though. But I think if someone else said it, I think I'll be all right. I chucked you a couple of quid on the last stream. No mention. I won't bother again. Fucking hell. All right. No worries. Haven't I emailed you about 5 times and tried to help you loads, and you're not going to bother because sometimes I talk and miss super chats? Seems like a shame, but no worries. No worries. Hello, Jack. How are you, man? Hello, Ian. Nice, man. 53 already. So, oh, hang on. What's happening? Right. Let me get the grift sorted out right now. Speaking of missed super chats, press that. I'll tell you what, it is absolutely kicking off everywhere. Before I started this stream, I typed in live. What is that? It's so... I can't cope with it, people. I can't believe I'm going to have to use a new bit of tissue paper. I mean, I've used about 50. I've used the same piece for about 4 weeks, and now and dried it. I can't believe I've got to open up a fresh one. One of those rolls of kitchen towel usually lasts me about a year. Drives me nuts when the girlfriend's here and she just uses a fresh one for everything. I'm like, darling, come on, we could have done about 10 different jobs with that one sheet. I can't remember what I was fucking talking about. Good show this morning though. That went down a treat. But yeah, a few different people called me about the Rags hotline. That was superb. One second, people. Oh, bish bash bosh. There we go. Oh shit, I fucked it up. It would appear the hangover is lingering in ways I was not aware of. Oh, this page isn't working. Good. Was a minute ago. Now it is. Yeah, I went onto YouTube and I typed in live. You can filter your searches, can't you? And I filtered it for live, and roughly, you know, they're RT. There, Vienna, there's protests. Rome, I've got some footage of Rome. Vienna, Rome, Australia. There was about still going on in the Netherlands. Loads of problems going on. Loads of people protesting. They've just had enough, and they're all lockdown protests, all of them. It's quite something. It really is. You know, it's strange, isn't it? I mean, I'm not the sort of person who wants power. I don't want to be imagine. It's quite interesting when Jordan Peterson says, when women say, oh, like 70% of CEOs are men. And it's like, who'd want that job? You know, continual stress. And imagine wanting to run a country, a nation. And if you've got, like in France, live right now, the Yellow Vests are marching, and they're celebrating 3 years of continual protests. 3 years that's been going on. How much is that costing the French taxpayer, the French government, the old bill? I mean, there's thousands of riot police just lining the streets. I mean, surely you just think, well, hang on a minute, what? I mean, I know this is naive, but maybe just do something that people might like. Maybe do something that people might like. Why do they not? It seems ridiculous, doesn't it? Hello, generic and unfunny. Hello, Barney Rubble. Hello, Rags, Pax Max, Bush Air. Nice to see you, Bush Air. Keys to the Kingdom is on the firm. Hello, Ludwig. Lee, that was funny yesterday. Lee, I was going, it's not there. You're not banned. You're not banned. And then as I scrolled down, it said, see 176 more. When I first started this channel, as Jimmy has previously said, and he's already snapped, I said, I'll never ban anyone. You don't need to ban people. And I told Devon Tracy, I said, I'll never ban anyone. He went, you will? He said, because people just fuck it up and it just ruins it for everyone else. And I went, yeah, but you just deal with it. He went, yeah, by banning them. And I've now got, when I looked yesterday, I think there's about 260 people banned. just banned. It's ridiculous. Cheryl Peters, due to a quartus interruptus. I like what you've done there. Due to a quartus interruptus yesterday, shall we have another go? Proceed with anything, everything you think about, all the happenings. Boom. Well, there you go. Where did you get such wordage, young Ms. Cheryl Peters? Thank you, Cheryl. That's very kind of you, as always. I think it would appear that Mr. Max Pax. See what I done? See what I done there? Because you're the balls. You're the bollocks. We should have covered that one on swearing, wouldn't it? People say, "Oh, you're the dog's bollocks," but you also go, "Ah, bollocks." No one calls anyone a bollock, though, do they? You bollock. I think I might have done. I've certainly thrown bollocks. Kyle was right. The race injection today has been off the charts. I mean, you must have seen it, people. I've got an amazing little clip for you. I can't imagine many of you won't have seen it, but I saw it last night on Chris's show, and I just kept rewinding it, going, that's not. Well, I'll wait till we get there. I'll let a few more people. Once it is 100, we'll look at some clips and we'll start the calling. Thank you, Pax Max. Appreciated. Hello, Riggs. You all right, son? Numpty Bumpty. Hello, mate. I suppose the MSM will paint all the protesters as right-wing anti-vaxxers. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? And what they actually just want is a more realistic management of the situation where the cure isn't causing more problems, where the solution isn't causing more problems than the problem. And I think we can all agree that that they are. Dangerfield, I have my headphones on. Are you near a disco bar? There is a discotheque close. There's a little club just down there. And it's a weird one because it's for, well, judging by the prices and the kind of the cars that pull up, it's for the sort of, I suppose you'd call them the sort of the sons and daughters of the Cambodian elites. It's like 30 quid a cocktail in there. I took a scrub, funnily enough, who I'm now very good friends with, bless him. Really nice bloke. He was here when I first arrived, but he's moved to Thailand now. But I took him in there once just because he came round here. I said, should we go and get a drink at that place? Because it's weird. It's got a little thing you slide over that you look in. And then when you're looking in it, going, what's that? A man's head appears. He goes, hello. You go, can we come in? And then it shuts and the door's open. It's all quite exciting. Sat down, beautiful staff, like hot ladies. And then we ordered a couple of cocktails and that was it. And as we left, I paid for them and it was like $60. I thought, fuck mine. That's like 4 nights out anywhere else in this country. I said cunt by accident. But yes, there is a disco bar near me and it's going into the microphone and it must be very quiet though. Ian, maybe if I turn the mic slightly away from it, has that done nothing to help? Has that done nothing to help? Hello, Osmeister. No, they're anti-glare lenses. They're anti-glare. It is actually bushy. It's one of my favourites. Baz is... Oh, I meant Chris. Okay. Ben, he's dropped a few bollocks. There you go. You've dropped a bollock. Did you see my film review? I put out a film review. I've got another film review that I'll put out after the stream. I've just got to cut it up a bit. It's all recorded. But I done a little review of that film last night in Soho. Everyone's obviously been telling me to watch it. DISCO. It is that so reminds me of street party discotheques. Hello, Steve. How are you, mate? Loads of people turning up. Oh, without a doubt. It's been crazy, hasn't it? Twitter has just shown itself to be the toxic. It's just disgusting. They're such hateful people. Hello, Don in Armour. You all right, mate? Yeah, it's a real shame. I mean, so many of these movies dying out on Soho. That's the problem. Do they stop people glaring at you? Go on, Mark. To me. See, I remembered. Yep, they certainly are. I mean, it's just a great big race injection, isn't it? And who didn't see that coming? But I'm a little bit torn between Rittenhouse suing the media, as much as I'd like to see him sue the media, does he want to keep it alive? I'd love to see him. I'd love to see them sued, but it keeps him in the public eye. Although, as I said yesterday, the Covington kids didn't. And I found a very interesting little clip of that, actually. Hang on a minute. So it might be a weird one to find. Odd things to type in. Hang on, let me have a look at my history. How are we getting on? 90 people. Once we get to 10, the show will start shortly. I've got an awful feeling I watched it on my phone, but we'll give it a go. And it was a few days ago. Isn't it worrying how much YouTube you watch when you look at your history? Oh, here we go. Found it. Yeah, Nick Sandman. We'll watch a bit of that. It's kind of interesting. Let me... And it's quite interesting because how long ago was that? How long ago was the Covington kid thing? Because he was a kid then when he was a proper teenager, but now he looks like a young man. And apparently he's worth about $250 million. Pax Max says that the disco noise sounds like a dog about to hurl. Mr. MF says, yeah, white supremacists everywhere here in the States can't go to the market without getting up by the KKK parade, as we all observe daily. It's such a weird bogeyman, isn't it, white supremacy? Yeah, we're going to have a look at it, Hooper. We'll have a little look at it. Yep, that's a good call, actually. Didn't think about that one. Plastic Africans rocking. He could absolutely make a fortune, but at what cost? You know, I don't see Rittenhouse as a sort of kid who's worried about having a load of money. I think he's a sort of bloke who'd like to get a job. What can you say? Good to hear it, Don in Armour. Good to hear it. In a way, we're all hanging in on there. Well, I'm not. No, I closed my account, which was a bit of a shame because I had about 6,000 followers, and that would have helped me promote my novel and my Substack, but I never used it for anything else. Hello, LC350. Hello, Montag451. Hello, Do Danger. Hello, Do Montag. From Metro Detroit. Are you actually in Metro Detroit? It's mad because America to me is just the stuff of movies. It's crazy. I've told this story so many. It's not a story, anecdote. The first person I ever spoke to on the internet, dial-up internet, donated laptop. My mate was on the internet. I was like, what? How the fuck? He was a software engineer, and he went, "Do you want to borrow my laptop and get on the internet?" I was like, "Oh yeah." And I said, "What do I have to do?" He said, "Nothing." And it was all like GeoCities and weird shit. What was it? Lycos. Remember? Go get it, Lycos. Ask Jeeves. That might have been a bit later. And I just was blown away. And I went into a chat room. Remember the chat rooms? ASL and all that. And the first person I ever spoke to on the internet in a chat room, it was a Sunday night. I'd been on the ecstasy the night before, so I was all a bit emotional, you know, the post-ecstasy come down. And he was from Illinois. He was a steel worker in Illinois. And I remember feeling that he had a real wholesome life. He was like, yep, I've got a truck and I drive to work and I bend steel. And I come home and I have a couple of bottles of beer with my girl. And I was like, oh, I don't. I just take drugs. I feel a bit bad about it now. Yeah, I read that, Hooper. And what are the media saying? No, he enrolled before the trial to make himself look better. He can't do anything. He can't do anything right. But the funniest thing, the really funny thing is the amount of people who are saying, it would appear that now in America, if someone attacks you and you kill them, you can get away with it. It's like, it's been like that for years. You're allowed to protect yourself in the world. What do they expect? That people, you're just going to stand there and go, just kill me, kill me. Amazon are going to stop accepting Visa credit cards in the UK. They've put it down to processing fees, but I think there might be something political there. Who knows? Nice one, Packer. Rittenhouse, Sandman to share custody of CNN. Good call. Good call. Right. Okay, let me get this grift sorted. All right, people, you can become a member of this channel. That's the top link in the description. There's free strata. We do free videos, private videos for those people. Only like one or two a month, but there'll be 2 heroes this month. Super chat is the $sign at the bottom of the chat, just down there. Entropy, link in the description, but I will now put that link into the chat and I'll pinner to the top of the YouTube chat. So if I've got it all right and my hacking skills, there's a glitch in the matrix, are up to scratch, it'll be pinned up there. I don't expect to get rich out of this YouTube live, but I do appreciate a few donations because I put a lot of time, effort, passion and energy, hungover energy today into this little scene. And I must say, it works out nicely. Thank you very much. All the donations are much appreciated. And that's wonderful. And yes, I will occasionally miss a super chat or an entropy. Fella the other day, I missed a £50 entropy. And I emailed him and apologised. And he was like, no worries. Nice bloke, actually. Really nice bloke. He's coming out here, apparently. And that'll be nice to catch up with him. I know, Rags. Hang on, I've checked my entropy. I've only got, unless it's malfunctioning. Did you mean entropy or Telegram, Rags? Did you mean entropy or Telegram? I'm not sure what you meant. I mean, it would appear there's only the Cheryl Peters, Pax, Max and Packer I've got in my entropy. Yeah, I've checked it, Rags. There's nothing there, mate. Packer, Pax, Max, and Cheryl Peters. I don't know what to say. I'll show you. Look. There's my entropy. Packer that we dealt with, Pax, Max we dealt with, Cheryl Peters, just 3. That's all donations so far. And I just refreshed it. So Jambo £3. Mr. MF has just dropped one in. There's no Jambo £3 in there. But Mr. MF has just dropped one. I'll show you that. Mr. MF says this. He says, these streams with you in the scrubs lately have been most delightful. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. MF. Jambo, I don't know what's happened with your £3. Let me just have a look in the account. I can sort of do that. Maybe it just hasn't shown. Apparently there's one from Respawn that I haven't seen either. Maybe they'll come in a minute. Respawn, it says. Respawn, did you put that Lady Godiva in this morning or just like minutes ago? I can't see the Jambo £3. I'll do one more refresh and see what happens. Maybe they take a bit of time to process, Rags. I don't bloody know. Who does? Who really knows what's going on, eh? Who watches The Watchmen? Thank you, Mr. MF, though. That was a nice comment. No Jambo £3. I got that one. That was from this morning, Chris. Did I not read out your Jambo £3 this morning? I'm sure I did. I remember seeing it. Apologies, Jambo Rock. Hello, Zen Maverick. There's a dog in the house, Steve. I hope everyone's having a delightful weekend. Well, mine's been most delightful. Right, I think there's plenty of people here. So you've got to see this, right? Now, no, bollocks, I'm going to say nothing about it. It's a weird clip. The volume's very low. it looks like it's been recorded off of someone else's television, but I don't want to say much about it. But I'm telling you now, the volume's a bit weird, but be prepared to just be not. This is the least convincing fake seizure I've ever seen. Check it. Oh, hang on a minute. The old hangovers calls me all sorts of dramas. Share audio. Yes. Here we go. Check this. Sorry, just for a bit of context. I mean, she looks homeless. This is outside of the Kenosha County Courthouse just after the Rittenhouse verdict. Well, one word to say to that. Leftists. I mean, poor woman. And I mean that. Whether it's real or fake, either way, she's clearly got problems. What a terrible state to get into. She says, "Fuck USA," and then pulls a Stars and Stripes face mask up. I mean, God. Ben, possessed. The ghost of Rosenbaum. Pax Max ain't buying it at all. He ain't having nothing to do with it. Right, let's have a little look at this. It looks fucking huge. I just want to get it to one of the better angles. So this is in Rome. This is in the capital. Hello, Ra. Nice to see you, mate. Oh, fiance says, yeah. So Rome, Victoria, Melbourne, Belfast. Where else was it? France. Wolfie, it's a Stars and Stripes scarf. Fuck America, and then puts it over her face. Very, very peculiar. Lawrence, hello, Lawrence. Have you heard of the spiteful mutant hypothesis? No, I have not. I will look into it though. That sounds. Oh, hang on. Yes, I have. That rings a bell. Was it a meme or is it a real thing? Spiteful mutant. Why do I know that? I know spiteful mutant. Is it maybe something Salty Crackers said or something? Brad says, thanks, Chris. Now I can't hear a fart with having to hold back from saying most delightful. It's been rough. Mate, I've had that for 40 years. Why are all the loonies on the left? Because they're on the left. Or because they're loonies. I mean, you know, it's sort of self-fulfilling Mobius prophecy. Leftist seizures. Yep, there's the other one, Rotterdam. Oh, is there? There are people shot in Amsterdam. Good Lord. Yeah, I heard the police are just firing live rounds or something. Austria, yeah, Vienna, Holland. Good Lord. Cork City, Dartford. I just dropped that one in there because I wanted them to have. Ah, there you go. That's where I know it from. Yeah. He asked me on his show, and I said that was when I stopped doing my channel. I might tuck him up and see if he wants me back on. That might be helpful. Although his audience, they won't like me. They're all a little bit. They're a bit, you know. They're a bit I love his show, though. I preferred it when he had his mate on there, but I think his mate found it was a bit too hot in the frying pan. But older Professor Dutton, he's a good lad. He does a cracking impression of me. Got to go to my girlfriend's mate 50th tonight. Going to be surrounded by drunken effing idiots. Going to take a couple of Valium. Isn't that a weird turnout, Skin Scar? I'm not a fan of drunks. I'm all right with people having a couple of drinks, but drunk people, they don't float my boat. How weird that you're going to take a benzo so that you can cope with drunk people. Right, okay. Go on. Mark says the left don't look very deep into politics. No, they're just what their Marxist professors have told them. They were plastic bullets, would they? They actually killed them. Totness, Paynton. Right, so have a look at this from Rome. It looks huge. Fair play to the Italians. And they're not burning anything. They're just out on it. This is from Rupley, because none of the other mainstream media seem to be talking about it. I mean, that is a lot of people, right? We really need Tim Harrison here to tell us what they're saying, but I'm sure we can guess. Look how beautiful Rome looks. Look at all those gorgeous buildings. Look at all that. Lovely. But yeah, look how many people are there. Look, it's huge. Yeah, I think I'd be all right, Lawrence. I mean, it's water off a duck's back, really. People in the chat calling me names, but I think I will tap him up. Yeah, but Skin Scar, and then when you're single, sometimes you miss having someone in your life to share your life with. You know, I've been in relationships and I've been single, and I always end up going back to relationships because I think I told you I sat here when I finished with my missus. Well, we're done with that clip, really. I just wanted to show you the numbers. When I finished with this girl, because I thought I'm too old, I don't want her to have to watch me die when she'll be about 30 or 40. And when I got home, I just thought, hang on a minute, what do I do? I just work. What for? What for? I don't need anything. I don't buy anything. It took the meaning out of my life, and it took the responsibility out of my life. And if you've got no responsibilities, what's the fucking point? And I will say that people older people I know who are in relationships and older people with families, they tend to be less mental. And also, and this is proven psychologically and scientifically, people who have responsibilities tend to live longer. People who set projects and set goals tend to live longer because they've got a reason to. Whereas people who've got nothing to do, I mean, you know, why is your body going to bother working when it doesn't need to? It's quite amazing. Amazing turnout over there, though. Hello, Dom. Nice to see you, mate. Brad Young was raised around alcoholics. I can't stand being around drunks unless I'm drinking, and my stomach won't let me. Yeah, they're a nightmare. It's a real problem that I have because obviously, as you know, in here we try and help people with drink and drug problems, but sometimes if I offer them an ear or even emails, you know, I can spot a mile off if they're using or drinking, and it's like, well, this is pointless because you're just shit-faced now. But, you know, such is the nature of the beast. Such is the nature of the beast. This is quite funny. We'll get into the call-in a minute, but this is nice for Memology 101 because apparently there's suggestions that Kamala is the brains, the laughing hyena, the giggling banshee, She always looks like she's about to crack up. I've been to Milan, Plastic African, but not Rome, no. And I found Milan very nice. When he went for his analoptoscopy, she was apparently running the show. But check this out. It's a very good one from Memology. Ah, you bastard. What you don't realise is the share audio thing is a tiny little square about a mile off the page. That's why I frequently forget. Here we go.
We had a tough poll for the president this week at ABC News with the Washington Post. Highest disapproval of his presidency shows that most Americans don't think the administration is keeping its promises. How do you explain that, and how do you fix it?
You know, George, polls, they go up, they go down. But I think what is most important is that we remain consistent with what we need to do to deal with the issues that we're presented with at this moment.
How do you explain that, and how do you fix it?
Polls, they go up, they go down.
She's an absolute mess, isn't she? The whole administration is just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Salty Cracker the other day referred to Jen Ball-Saki. I'm gutted that I missed that one. It was served on a plate, wasn't it? Hang on a minute. Is young Devon here? I sent him an email. Unless there's a different route. Right, we'll have a little look at this because this is interesting. Have a look at this. Bosh, bing, bang, pling, plong. This is Nick Sandman. Now he's no longer the Covington kid. He's a young man. And he obviously, he's reached out. He's reached out to Kyle, which I thought was quite nice. Let's see what he said to Fox News. Let me know you've got audio or we'll just be watching nothing.
And Nicholas, thank you for joining us. I remember at the time what you were going through. And I remember that moment. And then the facts started coming out that everything that was said about you, that you had walked over to this Native American activist,
thank you,
for example,
people.
that you had, in fact, that you were a racist. You had the same false accusations leveled against.
Apparently he's worth about 2,500 mil. Nice one, Ra Sunshine. I would have used entropy, but my card wouldn't go through, love. Or my card wouldn't go through, love. You know what? I'm going to have a word with entropy about all this because entropy is preferable. Mr. MF got one through, but people do seem to have problems with it. Thank you, Rado. That's very generous, very kind, and much appreciated. Sorry, we'll continue with the Covington adult, but thank you,
and
Ra.
I remember thinking, when the facts came out, you handled this as perfectly, I felt, as any kid could. My question to you is, what is the impact?
Yeah, he looks like a young man now, doesn't he?
On the mind.
But Otto, that's what I was asking. How long ago was it? I thought it was only two years ago or something. He looks about 5 years older. Maybe it was quite stressing. I don't know. Well, I'm sure it was. But anyway.
Being thrust into the public eye like that, being called things that you are not, things that are not true. And then I want to ask you what you think Kyle should do.
Well, it's terrible, Sean. And I'll tell you why. As a 17-year-old in Kyle's case and mine 16, your mind is still developing. And so to deal with an overload of stress where you have this feeling that half of the country, hundreds of millions of people hate you for something that you were innocent of, but how you were painted, it can do a lot to you mentally. It takes a very strong will to be able to resist that and keep a level head. And I know that Kyle is probably dealing with that right now.
I mean, imagine it. Seriously, people, you know, Chris was talking about it last night, Chris PT. Chris fucked up, right? Without a doubt, he done some very stupid things. Find me a man without a problem, I'll show you a liar. Find me a man who hasn't made mistakes, I'll show you a liar. But you know, it can be hard, even in the little corner of YouTube that I inhabit, when you do something or say something, or someone accuses. I've been accused of paedophilia. You know, people have made videos about me where they know they're lying because they've clipped little bits out of context, and there's people in the chat, and it's like, you shit cunt. I saved that one. You know what? Just a nasty thing to do. But, you know, it's water off a duck's back, because I'm nearly half a century old and I've had guns put in my mouth, and I can deal with some lonely neckbeard who's, you know, living at his mother's house, has got nothing better to do than lie about me. But imagine, remember this when it happened. Every CNN, MSNBC, usual suspects, look at the racist kid, look at the way he smirks at the native Indian hero. You know, everyone, and just people would have found his email. He'd have had to have shut down all his social media. Even people from his life that he'd have grown up with would have got on him, like they did. You know, a couple of the Zoomers who were hanging around in nationalist circles a while back. One of them lost his job. He had people he was at school with putting his address on Facebook, going, "Yeah, give me his address. I'll go and kill him." You know, imagine he was 16 and dealing with all of that. That must be that. I'm telling you, the scale of it. That's global. You know, he must have thought this is being talked about in England, in Germany, in France, in Sweden, all across America, Australia, India, China. You know, just this racist kid who's got up in the face of a native Indian and smirked, which wasn't what happened. Meanwhile, you've got, I think they were the black Israelites there actually being racist and didn't even get a mention. He must have thought, yeah, but hang on, I can't work out. And this fella come up to me and started banging his drum. This Vietnam veteran who didn't go to Vietnam, he was a fridge installer. It's just crazy. It just must be hell. And we saw the effect it's had on Rittenhouse yesterday when the verdict came out. He pretty much collapsed. His knees just gave way. He looked like someone had smashed him in the face.
You said in this article the parallels between me and Kyle Rittenhouse are impossible not to draw, and that you think that Kyle Rittenhouse should sue outlets to quote, hold the media accountable. I know that you have entered into settlements, and I'm sure there are non-disclosure agreements you can't talk about. I know CNN is one, and there are.
It's amazing, actually. That's really interesting, because when we talk about suing, we're sort of like, yeah, fuck those, get some money, but hold them accountable. Because if people like Rittenhouse and this bloke don't sue, they're not accountable. Will it stop them doing it again? It might. It actually might, because if you've got the Covenant kid, then you've got Rittenhouse. A couple of years there might be another one. You know, in 15 years, because this is all new because of the internet, and this is all new because people are walking around with these. So when CNN get hold of the first bit of footage, oh, look at the racist little Catholic kid, little white bastard. Oh, but it turned out there were 30 other people with these. Oh, let's have a look at your footage. Oh, okay, we'll take them to court, and they will be held accountable. And in 10 years, it might be Covenant kids, Rittenhouse, Mr. X, Mrs. X, blah, 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 blah. You know, you can start racking up how many times the media have tried to destroy a child. Do you think they'll do it for anyone who isn't white? Do you reckon that the media will be doing that ever again? No, I don't think we will. So I think it's an interesting thing that just that accountability. But Cenk Uygur, he went to shoot black people, and you're basing that on what? That chip on your shoulder. It's weighing you down, Mr. Uygur.
There are ongoing cases, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
That's correct. I'm currently still suing 6 media outlets.
Whoa!
And tell us what you think and why you
Cheers,
think
Skinsko.
Kyle should hold the media accountable. And let me ask you this. I would like your opinion based on Joe Biden's tweet. Do you think he should also
He's still suing 6 of them. That's amazing.
look at the idea of suing Joe Biden?
Well, I think he should sue the media, but it's really a personal call that's up to him. In January, it'll be 3 years since everything happened at the March for Life, and I'm still looking at another 2 years until the cases that go to trial are resolved. So it's really a personal call for him. I know he has a lot on his plate on whether he wants to entrench himself in this, but on the topic of Joe Biden, I've heard a lot of debate about it, but I think plain and simple that unfortunately calling someone a racist or a white supremacist is an opinion protected by the First Amendment. Personally, I know it because many of the claims that we labeled as defamatory were not let in by the judge in federal court. And so I would like to see him go after Joe Biden. I'd like to see where that goes. But I don't think Kyle's in the case where he can be making lawsuits just to see what happens. He doesn't have the luxury of suing everyone just to see if any of them land.
You know, it's interesting. I learned a lot, and your first attorney was...
Yeah, man, it's very interesting. I mean, this geezer's already got his 250 mil, and he's still got six cases out there. I'll give you the link to the rest of that if you're interested in it. It's a good interview, actually, but it goes on a bit, and now's not the time for it. There you go, links in the description. Bing, bang, bosh, Jambo. We got one come through, my friend. We got one come through. Bosh, bosh, bosh. And he says this. Right, we'll get on the call-in a minute. Jambo, rock. Saturday Arvo, £3. Hoit. Nice one, Jambo. Appreciati. Muciano, Appreciati. Nah, just nothing. Right. Hello, Bison American Club. How are you, mate? I spoke to a Native American called Bob. His dad's name was Joe, as American as they come. Well, we used to have a Native American come here, but I think he's working these days. He popped in the other week. Lovely bloke. Absolutely lovely bloke. We exchanged some very interesting emails. Right. Okay. Let's close that. I'll put the link in the description. And if any of you want to come on and talk about anything, and you can just talk if you don't want to debate. This is an open forum, as long as you're respectful. And if you're out your head and I pick up on it, you can be a little bit. You could have had a drink or a biff, but if it's just nonsense, just notice waste of everyone's time. Hello, here in the gate. You've also got to have a good audio. If it's hard to hear, no, you haven't got to go video and audio, but you have to have at least a good audio because otherwise it's painful to listen to. 130 people in here now. Jambo, thanks for that donation. I'm not sure if I actually said thank you. Let me close some windows so that we can make sure we've got a good connection and all that. Now I've got a bit of a blue tinger. Right, here we go. Let's drop that invite into the chat. And listen, if someone's on, don't bother trying to get in. Wait till I open it up again because otherwise I just have to ditch you and it, So, yeah. And listen, you'll get about 5, maximum 10 minutes because it'd be nice to get a few different people on and you can talk about whatever you want. But you will be warned. I don't fuck about. I do like to get into what you're saying, So if you don't want to be asked difficult questions, sometimes difficult, well, not difficult, but I don't want a superficial. It's not like a sausage party where we're just going, yeah, I know what you mean. I might. Well, I can't really hear it because I've got headphones in, and they've got noise cancellation, and it ends in about 20 minutes anyway, so it's no dramas. So yeah, did I already put it in? Yeah, we've got someone. Pax Max. Hello, Pax Max.
Hey there.
And look at that. Plastic African, Pax Max beat you to it, but your time will come. Marzipan, Pax Max beat you to it. So just wait and try and come in again when I've finished with Pax Max. How are you, mate?
Oh, I'm just great. I'm over the moon with the trial, of course, ending in a good way. Yeah, I'm celebrating.
Yeah, it was. You were here yesterday, were you, when we done it, or were you elsewhere?
No, I was here. Yeah.
What lucky timing that was. I saw you somewhere else. Where did I think you started watching Jimmy's channel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I saw you in the chat there. So what do you think are the big takeouts from the Rittenhouse situation? When we call it a victory, or a success or a win,
barely scraping by.
Yeah, yeah. I wasn't confident. Were you confident?
No. I was putting my money on hung jury.
When they took a few days, I thought that as well, which is better than guilty. But I think we had an absolute result. But what are we celebrating exactly? Apart from Carl Rittenhouse not having to go to prison, what's the bigger picture? What's the important things here?
Well, it is the clear affirmation that both protesters and anti-protesters should be able to coexist on the streets. And if there is kerfuffle, the kerfuffle will end with the court separating the parties. And yeah, it's hard, but that's the way it's going to have to be.
That's really, I haven't heard anyone say that. There should be the coexistence of different opinions in street protests. That's what you're saying.
Yeah. I wish it would work, but one side is so belligerent, it's nearly impossible to get this to work. Same in Sweden. It just never works when the protesters and anti-protest get within 40, 50 meters of each other. Then there's just mayhem starts.
I'm going to suggest, and I've done no, I haven't looked at the statistics, but I would suggest that it's usually the left that start the violence. I get
every damn time.
There you go.
The scoreboard is like 250-0. It's they just can't stand being there and not causing a lot of mischief, and they will place it on anything, just like these people burning their city down. It's just fucking, and also others coming in from far away just to cause problem, burn the city, burn the cars, smash windows, and for nothing, absolutely nothing.
I think because the right, the tendency is that the right are patriots. They don't want to destroy anything. They like their nations, they like their cities, they like their towns. It's not perfect, but burning bins, it's almost, well, it's not even almost, it's immature, isn't it? It's like setting fire to something. Yeah,
it's
we've
nothing.
done that.
I mean, it does nothing, accomplishes zero stuff.
And what do you make of the fact that everyone who is shot, they turn out to be pretty dreadful people? What are the odds? Do you reckon out of all of that, all of those
odds, it's fucking weird, isn't it? It's almost like it's just a pile of dirt bags.
I mean, no way did he just luckily or unluckily, however you want to see it, manage to find the only pedo, the only career criminal, the only wife beater. I reckon if you got all of that crowd, there'd be rap sheets as long as Kenosha Main High Street.
Yeah,
they're not nice people.
Yeah, exactly. They are not nice people out there, and you see there are no neutral people there, just walking around and looking what's going on. They don't dare to be anywhere near this. So there is only the belligerent and those trying to preserve something good.
I think the neutral people are perhaps, I can't remember what his first name was. I think his surname was Hernandez. It was something Hispanic. They tend to be filming it. They tend to be the sort of what do they call them? There's a weird name for them. Something public journalists or something. I don't know what. There's a new name for it. But they're the only neutrals, really, the people with the cameras. But for me, one of the big takeouts, I obviously that poor kid who I think, from what I've seen, is a really good kid. If American kids were like Carl Rittenhouse, what a place it would be. It used to be full of people like Carl Rittenhouse, and it was what one of the blokes on Recator Law said, that because of the amount of phone cameras, and because there are cameras in court, even though this shouldn't have gone to trial, went to trial politically, the transparency now, we all got to see it. We got to see what went on in there. There were multiple angles of different things. So, it's the legal system can't hide anymore. And I think that's what came out of this, because I think people would have been absolutely, as much as a lot of us thought he's going to get done because we don't trust the system, there was just too much information available for them to say anything else,
Yeah. But it's still very funky that the DA has so much control over the evidence flow. That is just plain scary. That they can.
I don't know about this. Can you explain this? Because I don't know about this.
They sort of make a small firewall between the DA's office and the police.
Right.
And the police finds out, this jump kick man, it's this guy. And they sneak it over to the DA's office, and you have jump kick man here, just in case you need it. And they say, oh, no, he will not work for our case. We haven't seen him. We know nothing. Forget about it. La, 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 la. So, that is basically what they're doing. They can control a lot of the available evidence in the case.
So there's a middleman between the court and the police. And that's
there is a firewall that is supposed to be tight, but it just leaks.
Okay.
Like everything, if there is information somewhere, it will leak around, gets passed on.
But again, with the amount of cameras, the amount of evidence, the cameras in the courtroom, that sort of stuff's going to come out eventually. And if one DA is like Binger, it turns out that Binger's got previous for this. This is his thing. He cheats, he lies, he withholds evidence. I wouldn't be surprised if right-wing news groups get involved in his next trial. Let's see what he does. Even if it's not a big trial, let's see how this bloke operates and make that public. And so, he'll now be being watched. So maybe he'll have to change.
Yeah, I think people might start to dig into his court history and start to check some of his older cases to find out more precisely what he's about. That could happen. But at the moment, for me, the only thing I've heard is that, this is an established pattern already, just by word of mouth. And the rest might be coming through some court papers, or someone digs up something regarding this.
Because
that's going to be interesting.
The judge had that day of reckoning thing, and it didn't seem to apply to the trial. He said something about your day of reckoning. That wasn't, this trial will have a day of reckoning. I think he kind of implied your time is going to come, Binger.
Yeah, it could be that, or he was just kicking the can down the street. Maybe later I will have to deal with it. Maybe later. I'm a little bit disappointed with the judge. It looked so good in the beginning, But then you just see that all of these motions to dismiss or protest from the defense, later, later. So he can go out sort of scot-free without taking any responsibility in this case. Just admit everything into the case now, and we'll try to straighten it out at the end in case there is an issue.
Yeah. Do you think that was the judge, though, trying to... I didn't think this at the time, but after the verdict I did. It was the judge trying to keep it calm, you know, because if Kyle had have walked on a mistrial with prejudice, people would have been pissed more than the legal process finding him not guilty. You know, if it had been, because a mistrial with prejudice is essentially a technicality. Guilty people walk on mistrials with prejudice.
Yep.
So that wouldn't have gone down. Baz asked where you're from. You're in Sweden, right?
Yeah, I'm from Sweden, but I am in Germany at the moment. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. We talked about that the other day.
Yeah, but I'm not always in Germany. I travel a lot, so I could be here, I could be there.
How many languages do you speak, Pax Max?
To make myself understood, only 2. Swedish and English. My German is really not up there to have a conversation like this. No. I can order the coffee. I can take in technical details about stuff, but and listen to some of the technical discussions about something. But that's only because I know what we're talking about. But coming into some general discussion where somebody's having a cup of coffee and I'm just overhearing something. I hear words here and there, I understand, but I can't really put it all together.
Carlson says this. Can you see the screen?
Yeah.
He says, "Visst du en svensk förstår du norsk?"
Well, the southern parts and accents are understandable. The northern Norwegian... No. That's alien.
Pax Max, what is he asking you?
Sorry. Yeah, he's asking if I understand Norwegian.
Okay.
Yeah,
my brother. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, the thing is that even with small countries like Sweden and Norway, is that dialects can heavily influence. Yeah, completely incomprehensible dialects in Swedish as well. It's almost like a foreign language.
Thank you, Carlson, for the donation. My brother can speak. Well, he's got a working understanding of Latin. He studied that for years. He can speak Spanish, Russian. He can fluent Japanese, including writing. So where are we? Spanish, Latin, French, German, Russian. Did I already say Russian? Japanese. There's another weird one that I can't remember. Loads. And I'm awful at it. Terrible. I've been out here nearly 4 years and next to nothing. But my landlord, I've got they're a couple. They're not partners, but there's 2 of them. One's a Cambodian bloke, a Khmer bloke, and one's a Frenchman. And the Frenchman studied Cambodian language in France, and he's been out here for 13 years. And he said to me that he still can't watch Cambodian television. Oh, when he comes here and talks to my girlfriend giggles. She gets around the corner and she says, "He's so good. It's just like he's just a Cambodian, you know." But because I'm blown away because I can tell that he's fluent. But he said to me, he still can't watch television. It's just they just talk too fast. And after 13 years, there's still not a chance.
Yeah, that's actually very true. I have to tell my German colleagues, please slow down. I can't follow that.
What are you like watching English movies? What? Because your English seems very, very good.
It's quite okay, I think. Yeah. I watch English movies. Yeah.
And is that because
what did you ask?
did you learn English at school from a young age? Is that standard in Sweden?
Partly in school and partly through my electronics interest with computers and stuff. So you have to adapt and learn fast to get into computers, to get onto the demo scene,
And that's what you done. That's what you done as a young man, is it? You got involved in computing.
Yeah.
I heard Tim Paul say today that he was editing computer graphics at 12 years old. I was quite impressed. And is that why you ended up in Germany for work?
Yeah.
And are you enjoying life in Germany?
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it's quite okay. You have the political climate here is slightly more open than in Sweden, so it is a step towards better, but it's not optimal, of course, because of the history in Germany that puts some hard constraints on what you can't discuss. Yeah. Maybe we should take that. The JQ. I have so much to say about the. No, we're not gonna do the JQ.
I was honestly thinking. I can trust this man. But, I just hope he understands there's certain borders. Although, I mean, I don't buy it. I just don't buy that. It's not a thing that
are we actually going to the JQ? I mean, my time's up. I can prepare a little bit more for the next time if you want to discuss the JQ.
I think, in fairness, me having a YouTube channel and talking about it is probably not as risky as you living in Germany and talking about it on YouTube. I think out of the two of us, you're probably at higher risk.
Well, I think it's okay to discuss it, just that you can't deny some parts of the history. That is the red flag.
You've said too much. Pax Max, I've spoken to you a few times. You're a regular around here, and I think you're a much respected man. Thank you for coming on and enjoy the. Have you got?
Well, thanks for having me.
It looked like you had a whiskey on the go there.
No. It's just my 25-cent beer.
Pax Max, take care. Enjoy your weekend.
Thank you so much. You too. Bye-bye.
Ta-da. Lovely lad. Pax Max there. Okay, so there was a couple of other people tried to get in. I'll put the link in the chat. And try and get in. 42 of you managed to sort out your tech. Okay, stop, people. We've already got one. It's your friend of mine, Plastic African. Now,
here we go.
How are you? Very good. Hang on a minute. What was that? That looked amazing. What you had on there before.
Man, I'm stuck. It's Battlefield, isn't it? The new one.
I don't know what Battlefield is. Tell me what Battlefield is.
I guess it's a shooter-up game that's live, 64 players versus 64 on a big map, set in the future. Is it 2042 or something? I can't remember. Hang on, where is it? Yeah, 2042 Battlefield 2042.
What? It becomes a first-person shooter, does it? Where you run?
You make your own setup in that. Yeah.
How much time do you spend playing that game?
Not much, really. A few hours so far. It was out yesterday, did the beta. It's a Saturday, so I'm chilling. You know.
Oh, fair play.
Talking to you. How's it going anyway? Your side.
I'm well. I did have a couple of. I had a few demon drinks. Yeah, that's gone now. I have to say that was early, but I am a little bit off color. I mean, I've got a blue screen staring at me, and that's not helping.
So I'll turn that off then.
No, that's not you. It's me. I've got two monitors. I've got a blue screen here. You can see it in my right lens here.
Yeah, man.
No, your background's all good.
I was thinking about what was going on with this vaccine crap. Huh? I mean, it's still pushing. That Austria is locking down and saying that they're going to mandate it, and if you don't have a vaccine, you can't get out your house. It's
that is what crazy. They said. Can you just fill us in on that? So Austria now are saying if you haven't had the jab, you can't go out.
Yeah, I think they're locking down on Monday, and then they're making it mandatory that you have to take the vaccine. Now, For me personally, I've always thought if you're, I guess I'm not an anti-vaxxer. If you're sick, if you're, elderly, and you want to take it, then take it. That's your choice. But if you don't want to take it, and I personally think that people shouldn't take it because natural immunity is way better, whatever this thing is, because we still haven't got to the crux of it, have we? It's still up in the air. Yeah, it's from bats, was it? That was the first take on that shit. And that's
the old wet market.
Yeah, that's where they got bats from. Yeah, let's eat some of that crap. And it's just it's still ridiculous. I find it really funny, and it's changed a lot of my friends. I've had a lot of friends that have like got out the game, bought up farmyards around, and now becoming survivalists, like growing their own vegetables, hydroponics, this, that. They're just like kind of gone all of a sudden this way as well, like survivalists or something, and they were never like that. It's made people completely change.
It has had drastic effects. I'll just stop you for a minute? Philip Mason, aerial photography. Are you Stuart's brother or a different Philip? And hello, Alan. Nice to see you, mate. Philip, fill me in on that, just out of interest. Did you know that if you mention preppers on Facebook, you get a warning where they say, are your friends over prepared? And they offer counseling to if you know people who are prepping.
Oh man, that's stupid. I mean, I will always say you should have a store of food, dry stuff, some meats that you can keep tin stuff, just in case. You never know. 2 months supply is good enough. But the city guys, if things really go down wrong, and I mean this, if society takes this change, it's quite easy to think that the situation, even in London, could drastically change beyond, like, on a whim. If you get enough nutters that go, fuck it, this is the last thing I do, without planning it, because the planning thing becomes, then you're thinking of it in the future. So I mean, watching the early morning news or something, and you got this wording like the unvaccinated or the unvaccinated. That term alone is sticking people into a group, isn't it? It's grouping us. And then you kind of go to those ideas because everyone's about the law right now. There's that thing called utilitarianism. That's right. Where if you want to, what's the term that they really use in philosophy? Collectivism? No, it's not that. When you're it'll come to me. No, but it'll come to me. But it's the idea that if you could shoot somebody or kill somebody and you'll save 10,000 people for taking this person out, would you choose to do that?
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And this is kind of where what we're kind of questioning here without understanding that model.
So it's an ethical issue. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. What do they call it, man? I'm sure I can't remember here. I was talking to, again, everyone's getting into their law and crap recently, haven't they? So
yeah, everyone, myself included, thought we'd be a cracking lawyer last week. Alex, nice to see you again, mate. Hope your Adderall's worn off. I can hear Plastic African perfectly, and I think everyone else can. So I'd imagine that's your end, because no one else is complaining. Okay. So Alex, that might be your end. No, Plastic, you're fine.
So it's consequentialist, isn't it? A consequentialist idea of society is what we take forward as if I do this consequence, these people will die or they will live. And it's those ideas that we're playing with here in modern society, in the Western foundation, if you will. And it's fracturing. So it does come to question that is this communism / corporation, this New World Order, is it slowly putting its mark here, testing us? Hence why it's all about control and how much we will obey by what's gone on so far because of something we can't see. I mean, the kids that they're scared of living, they don't know what's going on in their future, they think the world is going to die out in 20 years or whatever, and it's all our faults. That's getting them ready to go, yeah, let's wash the old away and bring a new about, and while they're young as well, or while they're getting to that age of being in their 20s or something, because the rest of us, fuck it, Logan's Run stuff, get the fuck out of here, not seeing that this will happen to you one day. Well, yeah, you laugh, but I mean, look where we are, bro. You laugh about it, and you see thousands and thousands of people marching in the streets everywhere, gunshots going off now, as you said, they shot up into the air. in Holland at the crowd. If this starts going down, and the media, they just hide it with oh my god, it's racist, cricket's racist, fucking this was racist. Everything's got to have something to do with a fucking race here. You know, we want to buy a product. You've got morals selling you products these days. You know, you know that meme. You know, burgers. Ooh, burgers. How's this going to sell burgers? We're literally we're fucking fucked. And I don't know how. I mean, Rittenhouse is a big win for normality, if you will, for the world of it, for people to kind of realize, hang on, it's the same with say Blizzard Activision, a huge gaming company who own, you know, World of Warcraft to Call of Duty and that, and now they're embroiled in all sorts of sex, sleaze, drugs, gay sex, cocaine, fucking parties for the last 10 years, and yet they were woke, and anyone that said something about Hong Kong was banned, perma-banned. You're not allowed to say that on your gaming platform, our gaming platform. So all this woke stuff is hiding their lies, hiding their deceit. It's all rotten to the core. That's what woke is. There's no moral there, is there, really? It's only for me, and it's everywhere. You just look. Even now, I've heard it today, even, you know, with Rittenhouse getting, you know, not guilty, free man. Oh, but he's still a white supremacist. Well, that's another lawsuit I'd write down. You know, here's another one, mate. Let's see that fucker. And let's, you know, there's no boundaries to defamation, and in England as well, huh? If you've got the money, there's no limitation to what you can get away with, as in the amount of money you can sue for. There's no limitation on it. Nothing. It's just getting it done. So yeah.
Is it perhaps a question that our generation, I mean, I know there's a little bit of age difference between us, but we have had it quite easy, because if you go back to, let's say, the middle of the 19th century, and then, or the start of the 20th century, you know, things in most of the world were quite bad. And then you had the 2 world wars, and then you had the Cold War. And then weirdly, from the 90s to about 2010, that there was like 20 years.
80s, probably the 80s, man.
Yeah,
80s. Yeah. That's just the 80s, wasn't it? The perfect thing is American Psycho. What, the 80s?
Yeah. But 80s, 90s, 2010s were kind of, you know, that was my adult life, really. And so.
But they still have it good now. We do still have it very good. There's just people are, again, too involved in this crap. Like they go to a concert and they'll be like,
oh no, it's shocking.
And it's everywhere. So somebody falls over. Oh, I'm not going to help that person. I'm just going to take my phone out. Maybe this will get funny, and I'll make $1 million from it. It's that idea that where does the responsibility lie with you, the citizen, and our government, or the society around us as a whole? Because, you know, the more the policemen have to deal with this stuff, you know, the harder they're going to become. And have you been to France? You must have seen how those RoboCop motherfuckers dress in France. Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ. And I know they you know, they have to deal with that crap. And there's lots of reasons why France is, or Paris especially, has become that way. But it shows you that we become hardened in that. And our police force do. And slowly but surely, you're going to have a revolt. You're going to have people, I always say, Jill Dandoed around the place, you know, on your doorstep. Jill Dando, you remember that? Pop, pop. That shit's going to happen to, you know, again, judges or policemen, you know. I'm not saying that don't ever go with this. Don't do it. Because the avenue of what we think we can go for doesn't exist anymore. You know, when you become so desperate, where's that desperation going to go?
But do you think? I mean, the way I see it at the moment is we've got in most of the West, we've got liberal, if not socialist governments, and I don't think the majority of the people actually support that. They just don't understand that. And yet, once these people are doing things like the lockdowns, the mandates, the things that the Biden administration has done in America in less than a year, you know, the majority of people don't support all of this. And I don't think they'll take it much longer. I know I'm a bit eternally optimistic, but I think you have to be, because if you lose hope, it's a real hard place to live. A hopeless life is a hard one.
Well, a man without hope is a man without faith is a man without hope, or hope was the last thing that came out of Pandora's box. No, I
Amazing.
agree with you. I agree that there is a way. It's rallying up the people to understand that, their avenue and their power to society. They just don't want that to happen. Hence why they make us so narcissistic. Why there's all this, it's about you. You can be the point of this, not about us as a whole and what we have to sacrifice to get there, or the sacrifices that people take, And then even in that, there's a whole thing about, well, look at me. I did this. I went through this. I want my time in there. And that's the whole thing I thought about the cricketer. Now, maybe he went through racist remarks. Maybe I'm not, saying that was good. But to go onto like a committee in London and waste our time talking like it's fucking it, like you're fucking it. That's important in this life when we got kids and elderly people living harshly in one of the richest countries on the fucking planet, and you still can't fix our house, but yet you want to talk about racism. Fuck this. And that's that's the problem I see it having. I really do. Everything's about money, marketing, and what they can get away with, and we've got to stop that. And I don't know how to. I see the youth, and you give a kid a book. I think I saw a kid trying to swipe the book, man. I swear. That's where we are, man.
Like when you give a teenager an audio cassette, they'll be like that with books soon. What is this? What's it for? I think you've nailed it, really. It's this sort of virulent individualism that was birthed in the 80s. Technology has supported it through the 90s to the present day. There's no teaching of civics in schools. There's just the idea of being part of a community. It's just not. It's not valued.
And our family units as well, because that's the harsh thing. Go away. Our family units are one of the most important things. Then the community comes in that. Yeah. And that value has no price. You can never get away with understanding those beautiful things if you have them as a kid. And as much as people say, well, religion is bad, and I know I grew up in a funny one, but the point is that I've met people that haven't had any religion in their life at all, and to me, it's kind of like a shame. At least you don't know what you haven't or have missed at all. It's just you look outside inward this way, and you can never replace it. That's the same as a stable family, I guess, mum and dad and all that crap that you can get. Because none of it's ever going to be perfect. We know this. But a stable beginning, and nothing being too pansy about it. Things happen, and when you make mistakes, like own us up to them. If you don't know, ask, seek it out, find out. Don't just Google the fucking thing. There's less trust among ourselves anymore, and I don't know. I still think there's a lot of good in the world, and I think we can break through this mold, man. Here in England as well, there's a lot of. There's still a lot of spirit here, and I believe in that. London's kind of a problem, and that's it's a different country. But
I agree. For instance, if Buddhism was removed from this country, it would be a completely different place. It keeps this country together. It keeps families together. It keeps. It's the foundations of Cambodian culture, without a doubt.
Is it ancestral Buddhism, isn't it? Ancestral Buddhism, is that the one? So they look back in their ancestors, and the Buddhism of being to enlightenment as well, death, life, rebirth, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, I mean, it's a weird one because it's a mixture of Hindu ideas. Right. Yeah.
So it's Tavalism and Jadeism, I think, are the first ones to come from that.
But just in terms of the amount of festivals they have to sort of bring themselves together. Like there was one last week, there's one next week. It's so regular. And when I first went out to the provinces, my girlfriend was really keen on me going out there, and she was all upset when I said I couldn't. And so I changed my mind. And this wasn't the toothache one. And it was because there was a big festival, and it was amazing because all the people from the province walked along with these. They have these like tins. There's a stack of 4, and they've all got food in them. And as we sort of got onto the dust road, all the other families and their extended families, you know, people in the provinces live with 20, 30 people.
Absolutely, yeah.
And everyone starts, and you see other roads, people walking down, and everyone meets up at the temple. They all get in there, you know, gossip is exchanged. Everyone knows what everyone's doing in a positive way. It's not like, oh, guess what so-and-so done? No, you know, so-and-so's had a baby, and then everyone's happy, and they want to all hold the baby, and the baby's passed around, like, you know, 50, 60 people.
Again, it shows that if there's something wrong in the community, as with a family member or a friend or something, society gathers around that person or that family to try figure out and work together to get it right, instead of just going to some stupid authority that goes, this is what you can't do and this is what you can do. And we've really got to get on top of that soon, because the police aren't there to police our lives. I'm not there to tell us what to do. You know, as a libertarian in a classical sense, that the government should be fucking tiny, and I mean tiny. You know, have a good army, have all that, but government, no, you don't interfere unless, you know, rightfully I'm undermining the state or harming society through my actions. Then you can come at me. Then there's a reason to stop it. You know what I mean? But most of it should be my choice, you know, even to the point of, you know, taking drugs and you know, like they say, education is the best form of defense. You educate people on it. You just don't go, oh, that's bad. You know, sex is bad. Or you know, all those other things that they still try to teach kids today. It's like, they're going to still go out and do it, you fucking idiot. Educate them. And then they won't get too far down the rabbit hole, you know?
Well, also, and again, it goes back to communities, because you don't need the police to come in if there's consequences of your behaviour. Once you've been divided down to individuals, and you go and you become a drug addict, or you get caught stealing something. If that happens out here, the community frown upon it, and you suffer, because you're not going to be invited into things. You're not going to be part of the community. So there are consequences to your behavior.
Of course. But I mean, the Buddha does say, you know, straight up, because of Buddhism, you know, people can change on a whim, and people should always give them that chance, always.
Yeah, for sure.
One of his disciples was like, Barabbas or something. He was a mad motherfucker, and he tried to attack the Buddha, as they say in this story I've read, and the guy was like, do you know who I am? And the Buddha was like, no, I don't know who you are. And he was like, I'm the scariest person. I said, do you want to be that person? And he was like, oh, it's all I've known. And the Buddha went, well, put it away, come on with me, chill. And that's it. The guy changed like that on a whim, because he had never given that chance. I guess it's the same thing as the rice grain. Go find me a rice grain, you know, when there's I can't remember, in the spring or something. It's ridiculous. But and then nevertheless, yeah, you're right. Society as a whole, we should understand, because we're a social creature. And these things like play is so important, not the education we think we know. It's how to think. We don't have that. We have curriculums. This is what you'll be. And God knows what it must be like for kids now. Because I would, you know.
My state education was a complete waste of time. And well, tell me what you think about this. I spoke to a friend yesterday. He gets 2 days out of prison every month because he's done 4 years, and so but this bloke is a multi-millionaire, right? Yeah. He's a multi-millionaire. He went away for fraud, and he's just been in a room for 5 years. Oh, what a complete waste of time, because he's a very clever man. You know, okay, you need some kind of punishment, you need something, but they could have put his skills to use.
Yeah, how many businesses he could have created, even sitting there.
He has, and he has done that.
But outside of the government, their engagement to make something from it. You know, to go, actually, you know what? You did know why you did wrong. Okay, let's make this better then. You know, and then we have this, everywhere you go. I mean, the conversations I've had about the police force up north, to the councillors, to all sorts of, you know, rotten things going on. And it's the where does it, you know, I again, as somebody who served the Queen and Country, you know, I went in there for the good reasons for myself, and I'm not as a selfish, but to give and to do something good. And you know, it's hard to be an upright person, man, and not somebody who goes, oh, look at me, look what I've done. Let's just do it. You know, Well, I don't know where it's going anymore, mate. But again, got to have hope, like you say, and it's got to be through people through this medium, and to the many more that will sort of engage on that and make people think, hang on, yeah, this is my time. I mean, you only get one life. What wouldn't it be better for people to understand that properly?
Yeah.
You know.
There's what was I going to say? It was related to that. Oh balls, it's gone. No, I want to talk about it. I want your comment on it.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I don't want to bring it back round to my specialist area all the time. But one of the things that you learn in rehab is one of the main ways you will not relapse is if you stop being selfish and actually do something for other people in your life. It's a real classic. The cliche is you can only keep what you've got by giving it away. And by what you've got, they mean your sobriety or your clean time.
Yeah.
But that changed my life because I was a selfish bastard. Because I'm not blaming my environment, but I grew up in the 80s. Pleasure, money, women, drugs. Fuck everything else. Just feed yourself.
The
pleasure.
wolf, the bad wolf, huh?
Yeah,
wolf, not the good wolf.
And a man that I trusted, and I didn't trust men. I did not trust men until I met this fellow. That he's still my sponsor. He said to me, he said, look, you need to start doing things for other people. You need to actually do something for someone else for no other reason that it's a good thing to do. And when you understand that, and this is considered, well, I've seen it work. When I've seen people go through rehabs, it's the people who do actually change and do say, put themselves out for other people occasionally. They have a better life. It helps them. It's actually strangely selfish in its own way.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of that superiority complex that comes with it as well. And I've seen that through people that have gone to rehab as well. Like, I don't do drugs anymore. And then the superiority complex can grow from any of this. It's hard to keep in that happy middle, humble shit, isn't it? Huh? But
yeah, humility is essential.
Humility,
gratitude. Yeah,
you know what it is. All the good stuff.
But it's true. It's true. If you can get acceptance, humility, gratitude, and a bit of selflessness, you're doing pretty well.
Yeah.
But they're not things that you just learn and have. They're active things. You have to do them.
I made a whole lot of candied ginger for the first time this week, and 2 cakes.
I don't know what candied ginger is. Is this some South African?
No, candied ginger. So you take a ginger root, you chop it, you peel it up, you chop it quite thin slices, or mandolin it, and then you boil it for a bit in a bit of water for half an hour, and then you let it simmer. You drain it, keep the water, then you put it back in with half the water. Then you add a little salt, sugar, quite a bit of sugar, and water, and then you boil it up to about 120 degrees, about give or take, for another half hour. Then you rest it, and then as it dries after 2 hours, you shake it in sugar, and then you put it on a rack to kind of go candied. You can do it with oranges and all sorts of deals.
Candied ginger. Yeah, I've had it. I've just put it into the internet. Yeah, I've had it.
I made some with battens and chocolate dark. It's coming to the winter time, so I do the batch thing, and I go around my neighborhood. Oh man, I go around my neighborhood here and I hand out cakes sometimes. And I know this one guy who's like a man's man. He's like, I don't eat cake. I said, it's okay, it's loaf, and he loves it now. So he always comes across and goes, yeah, you got any of that? And I know he's like, no, it's for my wife. That's the one. Yeah.
There you go. Oh, I might have to make some of that. How nice.
Oh, it's good, man. It's good. It's medicinal. And then you can keep the syrup and add that into your tea or all sorts of stuff. If you want to make a loaf, you add that, because you keep everything as you can.
Well, that was my next question. Is it a way of preserving ginger? Will it last for a while?
It'll last for a good, I'd say 3 months, 4 months. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It's lovely stuff, man. Honestly. It really is. And again, the key to life is good food and friends, and you bring them together, even strangers. Always open your door. I'll let you go, because somebody has to kick in. You've kept me here far too long.
It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, mate.
Always with you guys, and take care, Scrubs.
Ta-da! There you go, people. Plastic African. Ian, you've been trying to get in, so I'm gonna leave the door open for Ian. If you still want to come in, Ian, and you've got an half decent audio, if you're still here, there you go. He's in. Hang on a minute. Hello, Ian. Oh no! Every time. Ian. Now, Ian, maybe drop your camera. Yeah, good. Right, there's a very little delay, but we can work with it. How are you?
I'm very good, my friend. Very good.
Now, what I'd like to ask you about is a few weeks ago you said you didn't like Asia, and I said, have you been? And it turns out you'd been to like Singapore, was it, Japan, a couple of other places? Where?
Japan, South Korea, China, and Singapore, yeah.
And you didn't like any of those places? Why?
Just cultural differences, Chris. The soiled panty vending machines, the food. I couldn't handle it.
How long did you spend? Was that in one sort of tour of work, or did you go one country, come back to Scotland, one again, or did you do them all in one hit?
Well, my base was in Eindhoven, in Holland.
Okay.
So I would travel from Holland and it would be for a machine installation or a repair or a commission. So I would usually be there for about 6 weeks.
Wow! Oh, wow! For a place you don't like, that's a long time to be there.
Yeah.
So what was the worst one out of all of those countries? What was there? Really, I've heard my friends love it. All my friends say you've got to go to South Korea. You'll love it.
I wasn't in Seoul. I was in a town called Suwon City.
Do you reckon I can find that on the internet? Can you spell it?
Yeah, probably. SUWON.
City. Okay,
City.
Let's see if. Yep, I found it. Let's see if we can. Oh, the Suwon City football scores have come up. Okay,
So that's the major hub of like Samsung, LG, all the big telephone manufacturers and TV manufacturers.
And how long ago was this? Because it looks fucking amazing.
This was 2003.
Right, okay, so about 15, 16 years ago, 17 years ago. I'm going to get some pictures of Suwon City put up on the screen so people can see. And what, just the food, just the culture, you just didn't like it?
Yeah. I used to travel to Seoul quite a lot to eat because I couldn't find anywhere local round about Suwon City where I could get something edible that didn't bark or meow first.
I do have that problem here. It's a shame because my missus can walk from this house and find something to eat within 2 or 3 minutes, but I can't. There's some of that stuff I just can't. And it's not because I'm not like, it's just I don't like it,
I'm exactly the same. I don't want to have to pick my chicken off the bones when the fucking head's still on it and
the feet and all that. The chicken. My girlfriend buys them in vacuum packs, it's like, and there's about 30 chicken feet, and she sits there.
Or a Chinese client will take me out for dinner. Hey son, you want the eyes? No, mate, you have the eyes. I'll stick bottom bit.
So there's Suwon. That's where you were.
So see all those tower blocks
in the background.
Tower block Yeah. Every tower block is owned by a company.
Oh wow.
Samsung will own a whole tower block, and everyone from Samsung will live in that fucking tower block, and then go to work in the same company, and go home to that tower block.
They live and work in the same place.
No, they work in a different place, but live is owned and sponsored by the company they work for.
Oh, that's got its problems.
So there'll be like a big Samsung sign on the side of the tower box saying, yes, Samsung people work here.
Wow.
Fuck me, it's grown since I was there.
I was about to say, I mean, there's cranes on top of those tower blocks there, so they've gone up. They're still building them, but a lot of Asia's like that. I mean, I first came to Cambodia about 10 years ago, and it's just a different place. I did find this one that looked a little bit more sort of provincial. When you were in Eindhoven and you were told that you'd got this gig to be going out to Asia, were you excited, or was you at first, or were you thinking, I'd rather not? Or how did you feel about that?
I had a really good boss at the time, a mentor. I mean, he took a guy that had an HND in electronics and trained him up on electron microscopes. You know, took me to the top of my field. I was traveling all over the world to fix these things. And he phoned me up and he said, I know you very well. He says, you're going to love this place or you're going to fucking hate it. Yeah, he knew me. A great guy, you know, really, I'm still in touch with him today.
Wow.
A Scottish guy that lives in Portland.
They mean a lot, those mentors you meet in life. I mean, I've got two men who've really put trust in me, and at the time I felt I didn't deserve it, and as I've got older, I just realised what it meant to me. So what you're telling me there is you weren't qualified for that gig, but he took you on and trained you because he liked you.
I had the qualifications, and I had the obviously the mental capacity. I'd learned Dutch in a year, you know. But in the interview, I was up against everybody had a PhD. Everybody.
Right. Wow.
But I went to the same college and university the guy that was hiring had been to in the UK. He had the same sort of upbringing as him. I could converse with him, you know. He knew I had the drive, and Christ, I won him a lot of fucking money as well. We would have internal exams to see if you were picking up, you know, how to fix the machines, if you knew the science behind it and stuff like that. And he would put on bets saying that I would come top in all the classes, and he won a lot of money.
And so did you stop working in that game to care for your father?
No, my mother.
Okay. That is a sacrifice, man. I'm sort of in this position at the moment because my mum's not getting any younger. She's currently she's aging rapidly now. She's been as strong as an ox, but she's now 78, and I've noticed this year that she's you know, she seems to be taking a turn for the worst. And I said to her, come over here, you can live here. My brother lives in Japan. He said to her, come over there. But she's been in that house for 54 years. She ain't moving. She's just not going to. And it's a real, in fairness to her, she said to me, she said, I know the home I want to go to. I used to work there. I'm all right with that, but I'm sort of not all right with that. I don't necessarily want her in a home, you know. And but she won't eat anything out here. She doesn't like black pepper, chili. And it's like, well, bread, rice. No, she doesn't like rice. That's the other one, rice. I mean,
again, think of the shit they put those ladies through, man.
Yeah.
You know, fuck. I still have nightmares about it yet. You know, I sleep in the room I was born in, and I sleep in the room that my mum died in, and I'm honoured to do that. I really am. I'm honoured. I feel her all the time. I really do. I miss her, man. But
Yeah, it's my father.
I've got the old man, so.
And how's he at the moment?
Yeah,
You seem to have a very funny relationship with him. You always talk very highly of him.
Oh, we've got a great relationship. You know, it's at the beginning when he was diagnosed, and I would get angry, and now I've come to terms with that. It's not his fault. If he asks me 100 the same question 100 times in a day, he gets 100 different answers, and we just laugh about it. You know, it's what can we do? You know, what can we do?
It's like my mother. My mum will drink a bottle of wine every night, and I start saying to her, maybe you shouldn't do that, and then I think she's 77. She can do what she fucking wants. You know, she's had a hard life, my mother, and I didn't help that. I didn't. You know, I was quite a problem for her, and so she can do what she fucking wants, really.
Yeah. Oh fuck me! He was on steroids there, and it was affecting his pancreas, and I was having to deny him chocolate. And I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. You know, he's 84. And a twirl and a cup of tea, come on. And the docs are going, no. Oh.
Yeah,
but we're over that now. He's off steroids. His blood's back to normal. The health visitors so happy with, you know, the care that I'm giving for him. They're always full of praise for me. I can't ask for any more support from what I've got locally from them. So,
oh really? That's refreshing.
Yeah.
Do you have siblings, Ian? I don't know if I've ever asked you. Do you have siblings? That? Have you got brothers or sisters? I thought you had a brother or something.
I've got 3 brothers.
Okay, and do you get on with them? I thought that was coming. Okay. Yeah, I don't get on with my brother. I mean, we're not enemies, but we're just not.
I'm angry, Chris. You know, have whatever fucking grudge that you've got against me, you know, but him through there, come and see him. Mm-hmm. You know, if I'm the problem, I'll go out and you can fucking sit with him. But no, there's never been an offer. There's always been pointing, and so.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense, does it? Ian, what are you back on your bike? So for people who don't know, Ian's a mountain biker. He had his bike nicked, and it was a decent bike. It wasn't a £100 bike from Halfords. Then you tell us about your injury, because when you first told me, I imagined you were zooming downhill at 100 miles an hour. But tell us what happened when you done yourself in, and what happened to you.
You've been watching a lot of rampage. You know, there's different modes of mountain biking. Yeah. So I was out for a sort of just a leisurely ride with my young mate, and we found this sort of technical. It's steep and technical, but wasn't long, but didn't look too dangerous. He went down at first, but it was kind of cagey the way that he went down. I decided to pick another line. The line I picked, I couldn't go down. I had to sort of control my way down, and as I was controlling my way down, my front wheel jammed and my back wheel kicked up. But in my mind, I thought I would be able to hold it and push my ass back as far as I could to get that. But was basically doing, you know, a handstand on the handlebars.
Oh,
got a really bad injury years ago in a fight where I smashed my elbow. Someone hit me with a tire iron. That elbow collapsed. I went down, and when I went down, I landed on the top of my head, and everything just fucking exploded, mate.
Ouch.
So, occipital condyle fracture, a skull. My T7 broke. I broke the wing off that. My T12, I snapped in half. I broke my collarbone in 4 places. I put my shoulder through 6 ribs, and I punctured my lung.
So you're cutting out a bit, but for people who didn't hear that, Ian was basically not moving at that point.
That was a balance point.
He was doing a handstand on his handlebars, and there's only one way to go if your back wheel's up. He hit the deck, and did you say your shoulder went through 6 ribs?
Yeah, that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not clear enough, Ian. I can't see that there. Now, when all this happened, were you? Sorry, when all this happened, were you your primary carer for your mum or dad or both or what?
I was primary care for my dad. So when I gained and got my pump lung to get your breath back takes a while. My mate.
So no, you're cutting out. Say that again. I don't miss
the breath into me, and it's my friend that was with me. I was lying there and I could hear him, but I knew that I had ribs and punctured lung, and I knew it was going to be. When I gained consciousness again, the only.
Oh, Ian, I can't hear you, man. It's breaking up. Ian, it's breaking up too much. I can't hear you. No one can hear you. It's a real shame. Damn.
No.
No, look, if you look in the chat, people are saying they can't really understand. Turn the camera off for a minute. That might help. Right. Yeah, it's a real shame. Talk now.
Can you hear me now?
A little bit. Yeah, right. So start again from you were talking about you so now you're on the deck, you know you've punctured your lung.
Yeah.
Right, talk now. Tell us from there.
So I'm upside down. My mates got me into a sort of recovery position. He's screaming at me for breath, but I know that first is really, really painful. So I'm holding on to it. I get that first in my lungs, and then the first thing that enters my mind is that, oh, fuck, Dad. I need to care for Dad. And then I thought, I've only broken a collarbone. I've broken a couple of ribs. I'll get to the hospital. They'll sort me out. I'll get home and he'll be okay. But I'm in ICU for 6 days, then high dependency for over a week, and then a month in hospital.
Rough. All right, well, look, Ian.
But my best friend took care of my dad all of that time.
No, mate, that's amazing. It's amazing, but the signal's not great, so, which is a terrible shame because one day we'll have a proper conversation. But thanks for coming on, Ian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely to speak to you, Chris. I've got so much respect for you, my friend.
Likewise. Someone in the chat said to get an Ethernet cable, Ian.
I've got one of them.
Take care, man. Good to talk to you.
You too, mate. Love you.
And you, man. Amazing. What? You know, I could just make out that bit. Listen to that. He fell off his bike. He smashed himself to pieces. He's got a punctured lung. First thought, who's going to look after my father? Incredible. And look, seriously, people, Ian gave up his career to look after his parents. That's not usual. People are quite happy to ship their parents off into care homes. Oh, I can't do that. Can't look after my own parents who birthed me and bred me. And Ian Hansen, it's really admirable. I'm in a real tricky one with this, because I said to my missus, I said I might have to end up going out to England, but she can't come with me because she looks after her mother and her grandmother. When my missus comes to Phnom Penh, there are other family members out there, but you know they're working and things now, and there's babies to look after, and it's all on my missus because her sisters have got kids, and you know it's. And this sounds a bit cold, but my mum said she wants to go to this fucking care home. It was the same one my nan was in, but I don't think she quite understands what life in one of those places is like. It's all very well going to visit her mother when she was there, and it all looks good, but we've all seen the horror stories from those places. It's a real damn shame that I never get to have a proper conversation with Ian, because he's been around here since the beginning, really. Yeah, loads of incredible comments in the chat. Good to talk to you, Ian. All right, I'll pop it in the chat again. Anyone want to come on? We're nearly in 2 hours. It's 1:45 in the morning. How's that grift going? Fucking awful. But I have to say, they're very engaging conversations, so I can understand why you wouldn't want to fuck around with your debit cards, although there's a few moments here. Right. Lee says the heroin, though, Chris, it takes all. Yeah, it can do. It can do. I think with heroin, it's largely an acquisition issue, though. You know, the American grandfather of anesthesia was a heroin addict. He done all right. Spike Simmons says, "Oh, Arklow rocks." 42. We'll just talk to Arklow rocks. Hello, Arklow rocks. I never imagined you'd look like that. 1 second, mate. Spike says, most people don't appreciate what they have till it's gone. Health, family, and friends. Show them some love while you can. Nice one, Spike. How are you, mate? Arklow rocks.
Can you hear me, Chris?
I absolutely can. Clear as the day is long. And how are you? Where's that accent from for a start?
I'm in Wicklow in Ireland. It's a very unusual Irish accent. You wouldn't hear it in too many other places in Ireland. It's kind of peculiar to South Wicklow and North Wexford. If there's any Irish people watching, they'll know the region that I'm talking about. It's
very, very broad accent. I'll give you that.
Yeah. Chris, I'm going to talk very slowly and try and speak clearly, because the way I normally talk, you wouldn't understand the word I say.
I think you're right. I think you're right.
You wouldn't understand the word I say. So, and I know you've viewers in America and other places. So, I'm going to try and speak slowly and clearly.
No problem. Well, it's coming across loud and clear. Anything in particular you want to talk about? Because I don't know a lot about you, but you're very active in the chat and you say some cracking things. So anything on your mind?
Well, I suppose I really was just wanted to say that me and you were probably roughly the same age. I'd say,
You're 35 as well, are you?
35, actually 34. So basically, I became an internet person in 2008. I got a computer and I got YouTube, and I was like, oh, I can look at music and stuff. And that was deadly, right? And, then I got into the YouTube atheist community, and I was like, oh man, I've got the vocabulary for all the anyway, the point being that, it was good to, absorb, the world around you and all this free thought stuff, and it was very interesting.
Yeah,
and it helped me, I am a lefty, and you know what? Now I have a vocabulary for all these horrible spiritual things and all that crap, and I couldn't wait to get out there and said, have you never heard of an ontological argument before?
Yeah, there you go.
And I got me God delusion into me and this, that, and the other, and I was glued to that stuff, But I had what is probably a similar experience to lots of other folks. I just started, I couldn't warm to some of the biggest personalities, and that there was a sanctimoniousness there, and I've in my own little YouTube channel, I've actually talked about it. I'm not shilling for that, by the way. I just throw.
No, feel free.
It's a little 2-3 minute yokes of me talking into me phone, that's all it is.
Is it Arc Glow Rocks? Is that the name of the channel?
Yeah.
I'll put it up in the chat. Not a problem.
It's the name actually is the name of a hurling team where I come from, but I put a Z at the end just to try and be wacky.
Just to take a few years off you. Can I ask you? I found it. Can I ask you? Did you have a religious upbringing?
Oh yeah, massively. Yeah, very devout. Yeah.
I thought you might have done.
Yep.
I mean, I don't like the stereotype, but I thought that might have been a thing.
And obviously, I'm past my YouTube atheist free thought phase.
The problem with the atheist thing, I remember when it all went atheism plus. Oh, hang on a minute.
Yes.
Rags is sending me things. Rags, I can't open that short you sent me. And you had the likes of Steve Shive and the social justice warriors all got involved. And then atheism plus was just, it was LGBT, and it all kind of fell apart for me. And
actually, I traced it back to Elevator Gate, if anyone is old enough to remember that.
Elevator Gate?
Elevator Gate. What was her name? Watson, I think her name was, one of the prototype dipped in social justice, hair color, black frame glasses.
See, I missed all this. I got into it late. I got into this late.
She was at a free thought conference in Dublin. Actually, it was in Wynn's Hotel in Dublin, and infamously, an attendee got into a lift with her and offered her to come back to his room for a cup of coffee, apparently. And this is the point I am convinced at which this all fragmented out into Elevator Gate. Then there was atheism plus, and at that point, I started gravitating to guys like Noel Plum, who was very critical of that stuff.
I know.
And I liked, and I was like, oh, you know what? There's more layers to this than I thought. There was a philosophy channel that I used to be subscribed to called Sisyphus Redeemed as well. Garrett Merriman, I think is his name. He's a philosophy lecturer, and I was starting to get very interested in philosophy, and he made one very good video about Matt Dillahunty, who in an episode of The Atheist Experience, some young lad rang in and said, Matt, at this stage, I feel almost as much of a theist as an atheist. And Matt Dillahunty was so obnoxious to him. He was so obnoxious to him. Look, that's patently absurd. I can draw you a Venn diagram. Either you're as much as a basketball as not a basketball. And then he cut him off, and he says, look, we've no problem with people ringing in here, but if you're going to say patently stupid things, anyway, your man Sisyphus Redeemed had said, Matt Dillahunty is very wrong here. This is not how we assess beliefs. And I just, that shifted a massive kind of stone in my head. I was like, yeah, I think I've been taking everything at far too uncritically here, ironically enough, in the free thought thing. And then the whole Steve Shives thing.
No, don't even say the name. Arklow, can you turn me down a little? Well, yeah, 1 second. Can you turn me down a little bit your end? There's just a slight echo, but I still want you to be able to hear me.
Yep.
It seems to have gone now anyway. Carry on. But before you carry on, I haven't heard the name Matt Delahunty for years. I won't interrupt you for too long. I used to watch that, ironically, religiously, and then I just one day thought, this bloke's an arsehole. He is an unpleasant piece of work. But sorry, carry on. Your journey.
Yeah, well, we're on a stream, and this is recorded forever. I'm very aware of that. Like, you know, there was other little details there that I'm obviously not going to elaborate on here that really was dismaying. You know, but and there was another guy, Dark Matter 2525, who made really funny videos and obviously a clever enough chap. And he would seem really cynical about all this atheism plus stuff. And then when the likes of the Steve Shives of the world went off into social justice orbit, he was really, really sarcastic about that. And he used to do streams with a guy called Autopsy 87. And they'd be having a good old laugh at all that. But your man, Dark Matter 2525, something happened to him in the last few years because, oh my God, he is social justice. Really, really, really kind of dismaying to see. It was really dismaying, you know what I mean? Yeah. But
in my experience, they usually fall in love with someone and they start
working on them.
Yeah. I've seen so much.
Yeah.
And this isn't, I'm not saying this is only women. I've seen women who are right on it and they'll meet a bloke who's all social justice. It can work both ways. It's not a gender thing. But that
might be the case. That might be the case.
I remember the whole logical fallacy explosion, and it was like, you can't just keep saying that. Stop saying logical fallacy. Just and then they pretended that it was this call-in discussion show, but unless you were going to discuss what they were right about, they'd just turn you off. And
Chris, what they would do is they'd establish the parameters. Matt Delahunty's line was, "What's your evidence?" Knowing that there'd be no evidence, for heaven's sake, fnar. It was people, some people trying to do the creationist thing and talking very, very silly things, but what's your evidence, you know? And, you know, and at the time I'd have been, he's just annihilated some other belief expressing person. But anyway, to cut a long story short, that stuff and much more like it is the reason that I drifted or evolved to what I would a fairly right position, right? And I obviously now I've interacted with, you know, the likes of yourself, and you know, I saw Millennial 3 years ago, and I was like, I'm supposed to believe all that stuff is the spawn of Satan. I have been told repeatedly that this is the most evil, demonic stuff going on the internet. And while there's definitely conversations in that we could very, very get into detail that I obviously have some issue with, there was loads of really, really interesting conversation in there as well. Things are being framed in a manner that I had never heard before. But Chris, much more importantly, and I don't want to take too much of your time, and this is the one thing I really wanted to say, I kept seeing folks who like the same sort of stuff I do, the same sort of music, you know, that they're from the same time as myself. You know, Wolsey is a big old Lloyd Cole and the Commotions fan. That's just great, you know, and clearly I won't get into specific detail about my life, but they're folks from back in my day, and you remind me of them, like, you know what I mean? You know, I was a very lily-livered college student, but I did a bit of stuff, you know, but like, but it's great hearing, like, you know, all these little cultural reference points. That's one of the most enjoyable things about like coming onto a forum like this. Like, you know, there's always little nuggets of where you reach out and someone says, I like that's exactly what I was listening to as well, or I love that album. You know, just simple things like that, you know, that much more enjoyable, much more engaging. And completely ties into the fact that other than a bit of cricket and a bit of golf and a bit of rugby and stuff, and mainstream news, which I still make myself watch, this is my TV now for the most part. Like, you know, I mean,
Well,
it is like, I mean, you know, so
you turned up here, and you're well liked here, and your additions to the chat are brilliant. It's been an absolute pleasure and lovely to talk to you.
well, absolutely delightful to talk to you, Chris. Absolutely
Most
delightful,
please.
and just it's just your little emphasis on a bit of positivity is number one in my book. Okay.
Nice one, Arklow Rocks.
So I don't want to take up too much of your time. So I'll if you ever do another one of these, I'd be more than happy to have a chat with you, my good man. You know, that's for damn sure.
Nice one, mate. Enjoy the rest of your week.
Take it easy, folks.
Ta-da.
Whatever. I don't know what that means, but I'm going to say it anyway.
No one does. No one does.
Fair enough.
Ta-da, mate. Amazing. Right, hang on. Before the next one, I need a wee. Amazing. Arklow Rocks. He came out of nowhere, and he's totally established himself in the glorious House of Scrubs. I'm going to show you a couple of things that Rags has sent me. He's been pestering me in the chat, and if I don't do it, he'll be on the Rags hotline in a minute. So when I come back, we'll have a look at a couple of those things. They do look very funny. And then I think Moslab's trying to get on. So we'll be talking to, if you're still here, we'll be talking to Mosaic Labrador himself. Better get my bulletproof jacket ready. See you in a couple of strokes. Right. So first things first, Rags has found something hilarious. How am I going to show you this? So I need to give you a little bit of background on this before I show it to you, because otherwise you'll just think this channel's weirder than it is. So I was approached by a Chinese company that sell dismembered bums and torsos for people to fuck, basically. And they said, how much money do you want to shill these on your channel? And they wanted me to do an unboxing video. We found a girl online who actually done the unboxing video for the same company. So it is legit. If I could get them into Cambodia, I'd do it. But the Cambodian government, they won't appreciate that. So I can't risk it. But I haven't seen this video. I mean, what's interesting is there's a little bit of eye candy that they're using them obviously to sell these armless and legless torsos. But it's peculiar that they'd have real women standing next to them, because you're like, yeah, I'd tap that, but that legless bum thing you've got there, not so much. It's almost the worst marketing ever. Here's a real woman in wearing barely little, and there's a plastic bum. So it's a minute long. If you've got children around, now's probably a good time to distract them, because, well, you know, I've just seen it's not pleasant. I think that's as big as I can make it. Oh, sorry, people. I think there is audio. So, Rag sent me this. I'm not taking any responsibility for it whatsoever. Here we go. But this is what I was asked to shill on my channel. Look at those legs moving on that thing. Oh my God. Look at all the blokes actually buying them. Oh, no way it moves. Look, it's moving off the stand. Look, it's crawling away from it wants to be free. Oh my days. Oi, 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 no, don't do that. Oh, that's this. What the fuck? Oh, that's nice. How old are they meant to be? 5 months? Rags, delete your history. Oh my days. Oh, no, don't do that. No, I've had enough. I can't. It's just too much. But let's just consider something even more peculiar. They have got a lot of units there. These companies aren't going to... They must cost a bit. Did you see that weird one wiggling off the platform? People are buying these things. This is obviously an industry. And that terrifies me. That there might be people that you and I know who just seem normal, and then when you're out on a Saturday night, a couple of jars, and that you're like, go on, should we go and get a kebab or something? They're like, no, I'm just going to pop home early tonight. And you're like, oh, all right then, John, see you later. And then he gets home, closes all the curtains, puts some batteries in it, turns it up, and there's this arse going. And then he's going, yeah, that's right, Joanne. All right. And then spuffing, and then having to get it in the bathroom and get the shower. Who? Give me a 1 in the chat if you reckon you know someone who might use one of them. Give me a 1 if you think you know someone. Don't name them. And if anyone says me, you're banned. I'll put the thing into the chat. Let me just check. Jambo's dropped another 3 into the entropy. He said plastic sounded great and marzipan sounded like a real gent. Hoi! Nice one, Jambo. Let me just check it. Right, Moslab, are you up for coming on? Because you tried to get in last time. I'll put the invitation in. This one's for Moslab because he tried to get in last time. Terrifying talking to Moslab. Scares me. Scary bloke. Well, I don't know. It is because I suppose they aren't. I don't know. Oh, God. Andrew helped to make clear his deceased brother's house, and he had one. Mousecat doesn't like to think of his friends like that. Moslab is driving. Not sure if it'll work. I don't know if I want you to do that if you're driving, mate. That scares me. I don't know how long your drive is. I mean, I'm not going to do a lot longer. I'd rather you didn't do that, Moslab, to be honest with you. A, because it might not work, and then that would be a shame. But look, people want to hear you. Is it hands-free, Moslab? Let's try it. No, I can't hear you. Take care. There's no. You can't hear you. You've got no. Your voice isn't coming through. What a pleasure to see him, though. Did you see it? It looked like he was on some kind of Why do I think he's in a tank or something? Leon, you lovely bastard. Moslab, I love you. I don't know why. Every time I see you, it cracks me up. I was a rent boy from 14 to 25. Even I find those paraplegic sex dolls disgusting and abhorrent. Leon, I'd love to talk to you about that one day. I'd absolutely love to talk to you about that. I can understand why you might not want to, but that without doubt would be an interesting conversation. Nice one on the donation. Yeah, they're rough as fuck, aren't they? Absolutely rough. Nice one on the donation. What a shame we didn't get to talk to Moslab. Right, Rags, I'm going to try this other link. I've still got bums on the other screen. Get off. Oh, no, there's a bum and fanny one. Go. Thank you, Leon. Dan the Iconoclast replied to me, but I thought he was replying to me to say he was going to come on, but unfortunately not. What, you've never heard that saying, Brad? That's an absolute classic. A lot of junkies end up doing it. I mean, I done it, but not. I didn't have blokes bumming me. There were people like Dirty Lynn, innit? If you want to read that story, sign up to my Substack. It's called Whatever Happened to Hunting. It's very good. Oh yeah, that's male prostitutes in England are called rent boys, especially if they're younger. It's a well-known one over here. Sorry, Brad, I didn't realise. Hello, Mad Lizzie. Thank you for that. Why are they different to women's toys? Well, here's why. Because I haven't seen a dildo attached to a bum. It's just a dildo. That's why I think they're somewhat different. I'm up for the debate. I haven't made a decision on it, but there is something a little bit. I still am, you bastard. It's not the rubber vag that does me. It's the fact that it's a part of a torso and there's like the arms chopped off. That's the thing that makes me feel a little bit oof. Yeah, you've got a lot to learn, Alex. Right. Excuse me. Let me try and. The problem with this other thing. The problem with this other link you've sent me, Rags, is it's a short thing and it moves on to something else. I'm not sure what it is. Oh, holy shit. Rags, is it the bloke who's trying to break into the house? Rags, what one do you want me to show? The shorts just keep moving. I don't know what one it is. What's this one? Sorry, people. No, that's too long. I'll have to have a look at that later. Right, people. Anyone else want to come on? I'll put the link into the chat. And you are welcome. I am okay, Moslab. It's in. But I couldn't hear you speak last time, Moslab. I couldn't hear you. Female fighting. Yeah, that didn't work. When I put that up, there was a bloke hitting a bloke's hand. Oh, it won't go. The link won't go in. Oh, yes, it has. It's in. Come on. I've been speaking about nothing but my love for America for the last 4 weeks. Here we go. Let's try again. Hey, hello, mate.
Hey, you hear me
Let's
now?
have a look. Yeah, it's perfect. Let's have a look at that wagon behind you. Let's see what you've been driving. Look at that.
Yeah, dude, I don't know how to switch my camera around.
And you've got snow. Oh, so are you clearing snow? Is this for a job or is this on your property?
Both.
Both.
Yeah. I don't know how to flip my camera. Dude.
No. Oh, damn. Yeah, that's what I thought. I was the same as you, Jez. Look, holy shit, a fucking snowplow. You're back.
All right.
I've never known anyone. I've never known anyone who owned a snowplow. You just keep going up.
Well,
Can I hear guns being fired?
Oh, maybe. No, I don't hear anything.
No, it's stopped now, but it's. Oh, there you go. Maybe it's something else. So, what are you up to today, apart from plowing snow?
Well, I've been down with the coof, man, for the past month. So I'm just getting out. And being in the fresh air is just nice. I've been locked down for a month, man. It was brutal. I dropped 20 pounds. Just reset.
I wasn't going to say, but you do look a little bit thinner than last time we spoke, for sure.
I'm down to one chin.
Well, that's not all bad.
I'll take it.
What was the atmosphere like around your manor when the verdict came through yesterday?
Well, it was subdued pretty much. I mean, my wife, two of my older sons knew what the deal was, but I've got a lot of kids, man, so we try and steer clear of any kind of really abrasive, aggressive talk around them. You know what I mean? I don't bring that shit into my house around them. So, just the other day, I mean, they could tell that Dad was in a better mood.
Which is enough. And what about the new one? How old is the new baby now? What's it going to be, 5-6 months? You don't know.
He's creeping up on 8 months now, man. I mean,
wow.
Yeah, he's a little sausage, so it's funny. I wish I could spend more time with him, but when I come home, it's Dad this, Dad that, Dad this, Dad that. And if I pick up the baby, then I've got 3 or 4 other ones hanging on me. Come on, let's go outside. Let's do this. Let's do that. It's a good problem to have. Don't get me wrong.
Boy, you're a lucky bastard. Trust me, I've got no one here. Look, nothing.
Hey, look, my wife and I we've had this deal from day one. The first 2 years of any of our kids' lives, she's that main caregiver. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just window dressing in the background. It's mom. But once they see it, they're mobile, and I could throw them on the back of a 4-wheeler, we're off. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So he's got about another year and a half, man, and then he'll be as crazy as the rest of them.
How many at your house at the moment? How many people living at your house at the moment?
Well, at the moment, there's 12 of us. Yeah, I mean, it's a sad thing, actually. I mean, my sister, God bless her, she had problems, and she decided to take an early exit, and she had 3 small children. My ex-brother-in-law, the atypical piece of shit, didn't support him when he was around, and sure wasn't going to do it when my sister was gone, so we took him in. And we are in the process of legally adopting all 3 of them. And
no way! You actually—that's amazing. Amazing, though. Well done.
you do what you have to do, man. I mean, they've taken to calling my wife mom, which is weird to me, but they're little, so they don't know, man. I mean, there's pictures of my sister up everywhere, and obviously we're never going to tell them until they're old enough to understand what really happened. So, as far as they know, she's up in heaven right now, and that's how we're going to keep her for the time being. But when they get older, we'll explain that, she was under a lot of pressure and did a selfish thing. And, she loved them no matter what. But they're going to be raised well, man. I mean, it's total chaos in my house all the time. There's
I imagine.
That's right. What a great place to grow up if you're a kid, man. Believe me, if I could have signed up for it 50 years ago, I would have. There's anything you want to do as a kid, it's right there.
No, they're lucky kids. You're an amazing person, and you've just bought like a lake or something and loads of woodland. You've got
We're in the process of clearing that property. Matter of fact, I've been taking a bunch of videos. I'll have to send you just the process of what we're doing, and eventually we're going to slam a big house up on that property and die there.
So you're going to build a new house and move up there?
Yeah, you know what? With the extra kids, I mean, even having like my house now, I think it's just under 4,000 square feet, and it's still not big enough, man.
Wow.
I know you think it's pretty excessive, but mix in 10 kids, and see where that gets you. What I mean? Don't find myself that too. I've got to have my own space. So
yeah. I bet some days you're like, right, I've got to go to work, and then when you shut that door behind you, you're like, fucking brilliant.
Oh, dude, are you kidding me? Everybody's got to have that disconnect from the family a little bit, man. Even if it's just for a half hour, just to regain your composure, man. Because it gets to be a lot, dude. It just does. I mean, anybody that tells you different is lying, but. It's never all sunshine and roses. It's a lot of blood and shit.
Yeah.
That's just the way life goes, man. But good problems to have, brother. So get cracking.
Really. Lovely to talk to you, man. Get on that snowplow. And you're over the coof now. You're on your way up. Yeah, that's not going to...
Yeah, dude, I'm about 80% back. I feel so much better, man. It was just a terrible thing. But I've never gotten that stupid shot, and I've had the coop twice now. So I think I've got about as much natural immunity as you can get. All right, brother, I'm freezing out here.
Yeah. All right, listen, man. Always a pleasure to see you.
Yeah,
and thanks for hanging around the stream.
It's such an honor to talk to a group every day. There's so many people in there that I just really enjoy. Even if I don't get involved in their conversations, just watching them is fantastic. So thank you for that.
No, likewise, and it's lovely to have you here. Take care, my friend.
All right, brother.
See you later. Take care. What a legend! What an absolute legend. So I don't know if you knew that, but his sister took her own life, and he took her kids on, and he's got 12 of them in his house, and him and his missus just had a new one. And look, this is my life. This is my life. A lot of people say to me, a lot of you have said to me, how did you get through your life doing all those drugs and all that madness? How are you still alive? Well, don't think there haven't been sacrifices. I'm a 50-year-old man. I spend most of my life on my own. And I told you this before, that I remember being in Soho. It was my dream to have a flat in Soho, and I had it. And I was getting nice suits made, and I was like Lord of the Manor. My girlfriend's calling now. I'm gonna have to blag that one. And and I remember it was Christmas Day, and I was in a brothel on Christmas Day, and I had a full length Manila coloured coat, like a flasher's coat. And I was standing outside a brothel, and I thought, what the fuck is going on? Is this my life? And then I got back to my flat, and I just, everything, everywhere I looked, it was like Christmas things. There were people singing Silent Night over the road. I thought, no, you've got to stop that. I'm going to be in bits in a minute. And I thought, where is everyone? Where's my kids? Where's my family? Where's my this can't be right. And that was the start of me thinking, yeah, you think I remember my NA sponsor, who I love to death, saying to me once, he said, you're the only person I know who's actually managed to manage a smack habit and have a life, and run a business and be presentable and eat well and go to the gym and all that and have girlfriends, but no family, So I didn't get away with it. Hi. Maybe you can hear me. Maybe you can't. Let me know if you can hear me. I'm on the neighbour's internet. My internet's gone down. Can you hear me? Let me know. Hello. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Well, my internet has gone down. Turn it off and turn it on again. Hi, people. Sorry about that. What a terrible shame. Let's see if the old turn it off, turn it on again trick works. Unlikely. Yeah, sorry, people. My internet just. I can see you. I can see you. There you go. Look, bosh, bosh, bosh. I'll tell you what. If I can ever get out there, that'll be my first stop, and then I'll go and see Alan and Stephen. It'll be amazing. Nice one, Moslab. That's lovely. Imagine being around your pad. Maybe one Christmas, please. No, so anyway, look, it seems to be working on my internet. I'm just going to refresh the entropy. It looks like I missed a donation from the pro. Hello, Mrs. Me in it. Didn't know you were here. How are you, darling? Rags got me on the old hotline. Let me see if I can get the pro super chat up. I don't know why my internet suddenly died. Sorry, the pro. I can't get that up, but. Even it's now even entropy is struggling. I'm on the next door neighbour's internet, so you know. But look, we've hit 2 3/4 hours. I think I'll call it a day. We'll have the old man on music. I think it only makes sense when Moslab was the last guest. Thank you. Oh yeah, it was incredible, wasn't it? When I said let's have a look at that wagon, I just thought, wow, look at that Jeep. There's a fucking snowplow. As if I've ever seen a real snowplow. My internet's not coming back on. Let's hope I can play some outro music. Listen, if you're not signed up to my Substack, is that it? Yeah, please do it. Link in the description. I'm going to write a new story as soon as I finish this. Oh no, I'm going to edit a video. I've also uploaded a new video. It's a review of a film, Last Night in Soho. It's one of my not gonzos. So if you're thinking about watching that movie, maybe watch my review first. It's already uploaded. That's out there and working. I can't even upload freaking YouTube on this next door neighbour's crappy internet. So that's my weekend of working ruined. Thanks, life. I'll see if I can do something about that. So I can't even upload YouTube. So I think it's going to be a little bit of a quiet outro. But I can't see. Can't find my way, my place. It would sound like YouTube heard me singing and it's now come up. Let me see if I can actually get a song. This is going to be a bit sketch. Listen, everyone, thank you to everyone who donated. Special thank you to everyone who came on. That takes a bit of balls to come on and have me probing into your private life. Thanks to everyone who donated. Mr. Pro, sorry I missed your last entropy, but I can't even get entropy to load. Your last donation, sorry, but I can't even get entropy to load now. And I will catch you all tomorrow morning at about 9 o'clock, somewhere like that. Let's see if I can get this music played. Ta-da! This is a long shot. All right. See you in the morning.
All the world loves a lover. All the girls in every land love and to know. The joy of loving is to live in the world of mankind.
I'm sorry it got cut, people. I was happy to go on for a couple more hours.
Waiting for you.
But go and check out that video review. It's only about 15 minutes long.
Music starts to play, night will turn to day, darkness disappears.
Yeah, I think I'll be doing the phone-ins over the weekend. I've got to have a little bit of a rest.
All the world loves the love.
Oh,
All the girls.
Honey Monsters on a ferry. Nice one, Windy. Thank you, Rags, for your help, mate.
Joy of love to live in the world of mankind. There's a place that is waiting for you.
I'm not even getting some of your avatars
Where
showing.
the
Good
best in
lord.
life is free. Where time is always spring. Happiness is king. Dreams you dream come true when the one you love loves you. You're in man.
I'm well pissed at that. I was thoroughly enjoying that. I wanted to talk to a few more people. Yeah, the show will be starting in a minute. Oh, it'd be lovely to have you on, Mrs. Minute. Here we go.
All the world.
All the world
Loves a lover.
loves a lover.
All the girls.
All the girls.
In every land on man you know.
And you know,
Joy of loving.
joy of
is to
loving.
live in the world of mankind.
Oh, gold. Make sure you check out my film review and do us a favour, get a like and a comment on it, will you? That'll be well handy. And then I've got another film with. I've already made it. I've just got to edit it, but with no internet, I doubt that'll be out tonight. But yeah, there you go. That's something you can do. See you later. Fucking computer.